Hello friends, today is the day number 8 of my White Christmas tutorial series. Today I have a very special guest joining me. It's Anne from Positively Papercraft. Anne is a remarkable paper crafter, and if you like 3D projects including gift bags and boxes, her channel is a real encyclopedia. You'll find tons of inspiration there. Today we both are going to create a holiday project using non-holiday supplies. You can find the link to Anne's project right below the video in the description box. And this is the card that I have made. I called it Winter Swan, and this is how I made it. I have pre-cut and pre-folded a card base out of Nina Desert Storm cardstock, slightly larger than the A2 size. I have also die-cut 3 thin frames out of thick watercolor paper using the nested rectangles, also A2 sized. And I have also die-cut a matching background out of vellum. And this is how all those pieces fit together. Now I'm going to use some liquid adhesive to stack all 3 frames one on top of another to create one-dimensional piece. As always, the tools and products I'm using will be listed on my blog as well as in the description. Next, I'm going to use this background die by Team Holtz to create water surface. This one is from the set called Composition and Lined. I'm inking up this stamp really well with Versamark ink. Then I'm going to put my vellum on top of the stamp, and I'm going to cover about 1/3 of the surface of vellum. The embossing powder I'm going to use is called White Pearl by WOW. It is actually a semi-transparent embossing powder that has beautiful, very soft shine. Next, I'm going to switch from the pearlescent embossing powder to the opaque white one. I'm covering the surface with the Versamark ink again. I'm touching the surface just slightly. I don't need heavy inking this time. Then I'm applying just a tiny bit of white embossing powder as if I'm feeding the fish or adding some salt to the bread and butter. Now I'm heat setting the powder, and you see that as the pattern develops, it's creating a very fine snow texture as if it is a blizzard. The dye I'm going to use next has nothing to do with the winter, but we are going to make it work for this project. So I've die cut it out of white watercolor paper again. This one is called Whipping Willow Branch, by the way. It's by Poppy Stamps. Now I'm going to apply some glue and stick it on top of the vellum. It's better to apply as little glue as possible to minimize the warping of the vellum. I'm holding the die cut down until the glue sticks, and then I'm going to switch to my focal image. This die is called Proud Swan. It's by Memory Box. I've die cut it 3 times again out of white cardstock, and then I stacked all 3 images, and you see how much dimension it creates. As I wanted to add some color to the swan's beak, I've die cut this portion of the image out of pink cardstock, and then I'm cutting out the beak with the scissors, and then I'm going to stick it down. And once it's done, I will be attaching the swan to the card. At this point, I have decided that the upper right corner is a bit empty, so I'm going to add my sentiment, and I'll be using an embossing pen by Ranger. Foreign language is always romantic, so let's do something of this kind. The embossing powder I'm using is the same one I used for the snow. After the sentiment is heat set, I'm going to add the frame that I've made at the very beginning. Then I'm going to attach this entire framed vellum piece to the card base. Here I'm using the liquid glue again, but probably tape would work better because it doesn't warp the vellum at all. Now it's time to add some finishing touches, and I'm going to use this medium called Artificial Snow, which is some very soft plastic flakes. I'm just going to apply some glue onto the branches, then I'm sprinkling the flakes on top, and then I'm shaking off the excess. Not only is this medium great for creating a frost and snow effect, but it's also perfect for feathers and dawn. And for this project I'm going for both those textures. You can also add it to angel wings if you like to make Christmas angels. The project is nearly done. I just have to add yet another little texture. So I'm adding some glossy accents onto the branches and onto the water surface, and then I'm going to sprinkle some glass beads on top. These ones are transparent and they're really great for ice and snow. That finishes my project. Don't forget to visit Anne's channel and see what she has created. The link to her video is in the description. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.